What is going on, YouTube? The beard is back again. Wow, that Megan review, I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That was a tough one. But I had to bring it to you the way I saw it. So, anyways, review number 2 for today. Hope you all are chilling out, enjoying your Tuesday evening. I know your first day back to work is always the worst, but it is what it is. Right now, what I want to talk to you guys about is the Zenith 28.5 millimeter. Do you call it a clone? Do you not call it a clone? I don't really know because Zenith's never made a 28.5 millimeter Addy, and on top of that, this one has no branding, no logo. So I would venture to say that this is a semi-authentic Zenith from China, and that's what I'm going to call it. These are available from beardedvapors.com, and they are selling for $28.99. So let's get right down to it. Basically, it comes with your ring. You have your 3 air holes, a lot like your regular Zenith. As I said, there's no logos on it. It does have the brass ring, which is what it comes with. It's very nicely machined. Like I said, for no logos. I kind of enjoy that and like that. I want to drip tip out. Has the same Delrin top that you would get with a standard Zenith, so you don't really have that heat issue. The top cap has pretty nice O-rings on it. Does not leak, and as you can see here, I have a dual coil of 24 gauge in there. It does have a copper center post. And the only really bad thing I'd say with the top cap is that there's no reduced housing. If you look in there, I mean, that puppy is huge. Unless you want to call that very center piece a reducer. But, I mean, if you look here at where it sits, I mean, that's a pretty massive housing there. I mean, it does tone off, or cone off, I should say, at the top. But there's really no reducing going on inside there. So you are going to lose a little bit of flavor with it. But I have found that when you have a good build in there, around a 0.15 to 3 ohm, 0.3 ohm, it does do really, really well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. We're going to go down to Zoomy, take a look at this bad boy, show you what it's got going on, and then come back up, vape it, talk about it, and I'll let you guys get out of here. So 1 second. Alright folks, so we're now down to Zoomy right here with the Zenith 28.5 millimeter. I'm going to go ahead and pull it off of my mod. Put that over there. So here we go. Like I said, it has a brass ring, brass accenting ring. Obviously, you know, several of these come with different colors, things like that, but this one just happens to be brass. And let me take my drip tip out. As I said before, it has the Delrin insulator there, kind of to keep the heat from getting to your mouth. This thing pretty much looks exactly like a Zenith V2, where the top cap screws down to tighten the ring. Let's go ahead and take the top portion of the top cap off. And that is threaded. It just comes off. There you can see inside there. As I said, excuse me, there's no reduced housing in there at all. Just basically that comes in so the insulator can be fitted. Threading is really nice though on it. Here's the brass ring comes off. It has 3 air hole configurations, a single, and then you have dual air holes on both sides. Okay, there's a ring. It's actually a really nice thick ring. It's pretty hefty. It's not going to be like the V2s where you can almost just squeeze them and then bend them kind of like a piece of tin. This is more of a durable piece of, I think it's a piece of brass. I'm not really sure. If it's not brass, it's going to be a stainless steel with brass plating, which is probably what it is. But anyways, that's that. And then here's your housing. As same situation, you have a nice slit Cyclops type air hole. And then you have for your dual coils there, and then for your single coils here, so you can run dual or single or quads if you needed to. Let me go ahead and get this up. Oh, and the 510 pen is it's a copper pen, which is nice. It is not adjustable, but it does protrude ever so slightly out of the 510. There we go. In case you guys didn't see that, the O-rings are a little loose, but I've noticed that sometimes I can pick them up, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I can't, excuse me, from the mod, and I think really what it has to do with is how much E-juice is actually in this bad boy. And my O-rings are really lubed up right now, so yeah, I just said lubed up. And as you can see here, I got plenty of cotton, and I got a dual 26 gauge parallel build in there. I'm pretty sure about 5 wraps, I'd say. This does have a copper center post. It's going to be probably kind of hard to see in there, with 2 stainless steel posts on the outside for your negatives. They are grub screws, which I personally enjoy because it gives you the option to tighten them down really tight and you don't lose your connectivity from the Phillips head loosening on you. As I said, you can see I have parallel build, 26 inch, so the holes are pretty generous. And like I said, it does have a copper post. Now here's one of my only really negatives with this device, other than the fact it doesn't have a reduced chamber for flavor enhancement, is the posts are really low. If you notice this, my build is way up high to be level with the actual air holes, but the posts are lower than my build. So that's a negative for me because number one, it just increases the amount of housing or amount of void space in that bell housing of the top cap. And then number 2 is you kind of have to build it and then pull all your build up out of the lower end of the bottom piece of the atomizer. So for me, I mean, it gives me okay flavor with this build. Like I said, this is probably around a 0.2 ohm. I haven't used my ohm meter to really check it because my ohm meter doesn't work with 28 millimeter devices. But like I said, it has a generous well. I have a nice strand of cotton going through, and I have the portion below where you can see through it. So there's the Zenith V2, and as I said, no logos, no branding on it anywhere. The copper pin does help quite a bit with your connectivity. So overall, there's the zoomy on the Zenith 28.5 millimeter, and I got this stuff off of the camera. Let's go ahead and go back up, and we'll talk on it, vape on it, and let you guys get out of here. Alright folks, so we're back. As I said, so that was the Zenith V2 28.5 millimeter. As I said, take it for what you will, whether it's a clone, whether it's not. One of the good things about it is there's no branding, no logoing, no made in China, no made in USA, no Zenith logo, nothing like that on it. One thing I did forget to mention to you guys though is inside of this Delrin, that little piece of stainless steel there, it's almost like the Stellaire. It does limit your ability to get vapor. So for those of you who like the more opener draw, you might need to drill that out, which I'm surprised I haven't done yet, but I just actually while I was doing the review I noticed that. So it's funny, I'm teaching myself while I'm teaching you. So anyway, so that was the review on it. I'm going to go ahead and take a vape here. Let's see, make sure it's firing. Yes, it is. Like I said, for as open as that housing is, and it not having a reduced chamber or anything, I would say it's actually a pleasant vape. It's not hot at all. It's more of like a cool / warm vape. Really mild, I would say. Flavor actually surprisingly decent for as big as this housing is. Because I'll tell you right now, when I first got this for review from beardedvapors.com, I was really kind of like about the housing and how big the chamber was. But surprisingly, with the right build in there, it actually puts off a pretty decent flavor for as big as the housing. So like I said, it really comes down to personal preference. If you like a hot, warm, juicy intensely dense vape, this is not for you. If you like a cooler, more mild vape with some pretty decent flavor, this is definitely right up your alley. I would really suggest, and I'm probably going to do this, is try this with quads, because I think with that extra amount of space, you're still going to get a pretty decent um, amount of coolness, or I should say mildness, from the vape. Whereas with me, most of my addies, when I try to build a quad coil, it's too hot. And I can't really do my deep lung inhales like I like to do to get that really intense flavor. So would definitely be a recommendation. I would say would be a good thing for you. Maybe I'll go ahead and do that and put in a little segment into the end of this video when I do that, just so you guys can see how it's vaping. But like I said, overall it vapes really well. It's constructed really well. The copper pin, the one thing I will say is the copper pin does look a little narrow, so I'd be very careful when you're tightening down the grub screws, because I will say this, with grub screws I do have a tendency to tighten a little bit more than I do with Phillips, just because I know that there's a lot less of a chance, excuse me, to strip them out. So that's one thing just to be a little leery on. Be careful with that center copper pin of our post, because it will break, which I've had happen in the past. So pretty much, guys, that's it. That's the Zenith V2 28.5 millimeter. Like I said, overall it does look really nice on 26650 devices. It's not quite a full 30, which I wish it was, but in this day of 26650 RDAs, they're all over the place. I mean, you got 28s, you got 28.5s, you got 29s, you got 30s, and you even have some now that are like 33 millimeters. So until there's some kind of standardization of these 28 millimeter mods, I think that these addies are still going to kind of be all over the place. So anyways, that's me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I know this was kind of a zoom quickie one here, but I wanted to get this out and get this done for you guys before I got ready to go to bed. And that way you guys can check it out and see if you like it. If you do like this RDA, please go over to beardedvapors.com. And you know what? Have a great evening. If you like this video, please like it. If you like it enough to subscribe, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys again next time. I'm Beard, and I'm out.